The last time we checked in with the baffling BC Lions, they'd gone from a 3-game losing streak to a pasting of the Ottawa Red Blacks. Now, of course, that's not necessarily an accomplishment. The Lions return from a bye week now, of course. They're going to Winnipeg, where on Saturday night they're playing the Bombers. This is a meaningful game. Win, and the Bombers are out of the playoffs, moves the Lions a half step closer to making the postseason. I'm joined by Kirk Penton of the Winnipeg Sun. Kirk, the Bombers were here in mid-July. It was Geroy Simon night. There was lots of excitement in Vancouver, and the Bombers were most ungracious guests, destroying the Lions and ruining the night. It's still a nightmare for us here in Vancouver. They went 4-1 after that. A week later, they were 5-1. Now they're 6-10. How do you explain this?
Well, I think they are who we thought they were, basically, to quote the great Dennis Green, who had that famous rant after his game a few years ago. The Bombers just don't have enough talent. That's all there is to it. They were decimated under former general manager Joe Mack. Some progress has been made. They brought in a new general manager, new head coach, new CEO. They basically cleaned house. They got a new quarterback in Drew Willie, who is somebody to build upon in the future. But, you know, it's going to take some time to turn this thing around. They don't have enough Canadian talent. Their offensive line is not very good at all. And we're seeing the results of that. They've lost confidence now. They've lost 7 in a row, and they could very easily finish the season on a 9-game losing streak. So they're basically going to finish where everybody thought they would finish at the end of the year, but they've just gone about it a lot differently, and it makes it look worse from a PR perspective, how it's going to finish.
Kirk, back in July, Bombers rookie head coach Mike O'Shea looked like a slam dunk for CFL Coach of the Year in his first season. How has he handled this really unpredictable swing since then, and what can you tell us about this guy?
Well, you know, hasn't really changed him much, because he is the same guy. When he got here and they were 5-1, he was playing it very cool. He said, you know, I don't believe in streaks. He doesn't believe in winning streaks. He doesn't believe in losing streaks, which is kind of weird and probably pretty good for him now, considering they've lost 7 in a row. But you know, he's maintained the same calm. He's basically had the same demeanor after every win or every loss. So that's a credit to him. The only difference is he's basically in denial about some things, and it's not coming across very well to the public. The Bombers have just been getting torched against the run. They've been giving up, I think, they've given up at least 155 rushing yards in 8 of their last 10 games. They've lost all 8. Yet he doesn't think the run defense is a problem. And fans hear that and they're like, you know, what are you talking about, right? So from that perspective, it's probably not a good thing that he's kind of playing it cool, where I think he should probably be laying down the law a little more with some of his players, because he's been giving them a bunch of breaks, and I think it's time to, well, it's too late now, but I think he's going to learn from this year that he should have been a little more forceful with his players, maybe not as much of a player's coach. As for the guy himself, you know, he's a you know, laid-back, everyday kind of guy. That's the way he likes to come across anyway. He's from North Bay, Ontario, likes fishing, likes hunting, kind of fits in well here in the Manitoba mold. So from that perspective, yeah, he's the perfect fit, I think, here in Winnipeg. And I think he's a good coach, but he's going to learn a lot of things about this year. And I think we might see a little bit different Mike O'Shea next year.
Kirk, thanks for joining me, and it's off to North Vancouver, where we're joined by Lowell Ullrich of the province, who's getting ready to go to Winnipeg for Saturday's game. LU, you spent the bye week nursing various injuries in Las Vegas. What did the off week do for these baffling Lions?
Well, I don't know that they went to Vegas like some people. You're right. But the injuries, you know what? I thought it was going to be better than it was. I mean, I think a lot of people had this vision that, you know, the bye week couldn't have come at a better time, and you know, they were in such bad shape after that game against the Ottawa Red Blacks, even though they won handily. But at this point, we don't know about all of the ones that we should know about. Emmanuel Arsenault tried to go right to the end of that Ottawa game and pulled out at the last minute. He did not show up to start the practice week. Stefan Logan who did not play, only gave it a limited go. Dante Marsh will not play in this game against Winnipeg, and that's a bit of a surprise given that he was saying he thought he only needed 2 weeks. Well, apparently he needs 4 because he won't play this week. So there's a couple of things here that are a little bit troubling for the Lions after a bye week when you sort of expect health. Dean Valley will play. That's probably the best news, at least if you're a Dean Valley fan and think that the Lions are better served with him in the lineup.
Travis Lulay, of course, the quarterback, God, what a story. Once again, rehabbing his really badly injured shoulder. Back throwing this week. But the last time he was back throwing, LU, they were basically preparing to get him back into the lineup. Is that the case this time?
No, it's not, and I think that sort of tells us a lot more about the direction of this Lions team going forward, not only this year, but potentially, in years to come, because the Lions are not hanging their hat on Travis Lulay. I think the scenario we find ourselves, or the Lions find themselves in now, is somewhat of Travis Lulay as the guy who comes to the rescue. At least that's the sense I get. If he gets a start in before the playoffs, if the game doesn't mean anything to the Lions, and it's hard to think that would be the case, that might be good. But you sort of get the feeling now that, okay, this is Kevin Glenn's team. If Travis Lulay is needed, he may be in a position to help, maybe coming in off the bench in a playoff game and a sort of rally the troops kind of scenario. So, but saying all that, it means it's a lot different than it was back in late August when the Lions were tailoring their offense more to the arrival of Lulay and knowing that Glenn was going to leave. That isn't happening right now.
LU, the Lions are in a weird situation where they could end up hosting a Western semifinal. They could be the visiting team in a Western semifinal. They could be the visiting team in an Eastern semifinal, or they could completely miss the playoffs. For the Bombers, it's a way simpler. They lose to the Lions on Saturday, they're finito, their season is over, and they've lost 7 in a row. What do the Lions have to do to win this game? Because it's clearly not going to be easy.
Well, I think, it's not going to be an easy game. You're playing a desperate team, as you say. Drew Willie comes back to start at quarterback, presumably for Winnipeg. That's an interesting dynamic in itself. But for the Lions, play consistently. They haven't played a consistent, had a consistent patch. It seems I can't remember how long it's been. Emmanuel Arsenault comes back. That would be great. But they need a second receiving option. Ernest Jackson had a career game last time out. He needs to have another one or something similar so that the Lions have 2 offensive receiving threats. On defense, keep playing the way they have. Solomon Eliminium is within 8 tackles of breaking or tying the league record for tackles in a season. Certainly that'll be something to watch for. Sully is at 121 starting play this week, and he's still only got like on a 50 tackle lead over everybody else. The defense, which hasn't allowed a touchdown in 3 games, keeps doing what it's doing. They certainly put themselves in a chance to win, but more offensive consistency led by Kevin Glenn and his receivers are going to be job number 1.
Well, I mean, certainly there's a lot of intrigue this weekend for sure, LU. Your full pregame package will be in Friday's Province Sports, of course, the Blitz package. And on Saturday afternoon, a special time, usually we go Friday at 1 with the live chat. You'll be in Winnipeg at Canada Inn Stadium. It's a hard thing to say.
Or you could even say Investors Group Field. Because
Have I got it wrong? Was that the old stadium?
That's what they used to. They change sponsors all the time. Who knows? Right?
And I can't keep track of all the stadiums in the CFL. There's so many. Saturday, 1 o'clock, provincesports.com. Join Lowell Ullrich, engage in banter before the big game. Thanks, LU.